Hello, my fellow travelers. Thank you for tagging along with me on this journey with a vertical farming researcher. This is episode 2 of the first marking period series. So this week, all we've pretty much been doing is continuing writing our annotated bibliographies, which are due at the end of next week, which is also the end of the marking period. And so I'm going to give you all a brief overview of how this week went. Sorry, I'm outside right now because I've been implementing this method that Miss Moncrief taught us, that basically going outside and getting fresh air really does help stimulate the mind and helps you focus. And well, I've also been reading it in a whole bunch of different places, just on the sidelines, that say that being outside and fresh air helps your mental health overall. So it's really good to bring your computer outside for once and help yourself. Well, anyways, I got a little sidetracked there, but that's actually the topic of today's episode, which I'll be discussing in a little bit. But this week we've been writing our annotated bibliographies. We had a annotated bibliography check, which our teacher, Miss Moncrief, had basically just check to see how we're doing and if we're doing it in the way that she would like us to do things. I learned a couple interesting things this week. I would say I learned something new about the APA format. I know I talked last episode all about the APA format, which is probably super boring. I am so sorry, y'all. But you're actually not really supposed to be using gender-specific pronouns, so they really do prefer you to use the they-them pronouns. I would never have an issue with that. I thought it was interesting, and when I went to recheck my work, I was actually using they-them pronouns, so I was like, oh, this isn't a big deal then. But it is something to keep in mind if you are planning on writing a APA format paper. I know a lot of graders probably are not aware of this minor little rule or whatever, but you never know. Anyways, this week I've been also implementing a lot of new strategies when attacking my workload because it's junior year. It's a tough one, right? And taking, some kids taking 7 AP classes. I'm taking 5, and that's a lot, so I feel bad for the kids who are taking 7. But it is a struggle, and there's a lot of work to do, and I know a lot of kids struggle with concentration, myself included. I think a lot of people in my research class are very well aware that I struggle a little bit with concentrating and getting on task. So I've been really struggling with that because it takes me a lot of time to do work, which I could have done in half the time, and obviously that impedes sleep, and then impeded sleep impedes more productivity, and then the cycle just keeps on getting worse. So this week I just was like, I need a solution to this. And so I was, just searching on YouTube for music and stuff like that. I can't listen to music, I found out, because I hear the words and then they make me think into another land. So I actually found some relief videos for kids with ADD, ADHD. I don't know if I have it. We've never gotten the test. I don't think we're really planning on getting the test, but it can work, and I bet it works for anyone who doesn't have ADD or ADHD, because I probably don't have it. I hope I don't have it. We never know. Basically how it works is, I'm reading the description right around here. It explains how people with this this mental, not disorder, but disability, I guess, or learning disability, have slower wave pattern, EEG patterns in their left hemisphere of the brain, and the right is much faster. So the video tries to maintain a balance between those two hemispheres, and so you need headphones for it, because your headphones will target which ear to play the frequencies in, because they have to play it in the right ear, because if the left hemisphere controls the right side of the body, and then vice versa. So you really need headphones for this. But the video, I'm gonna show y'all right here. The cover looks like, I don't know if, like that, with the two hemispheres of the brains, different colors. Totally recommend. Let me set this back up here. It has helped me a ton. I actually, the first time I tested it was on my AP Lang homework. I finished my reading and my answer, like the questions to answer with, I would say in an hour, and reading takes me, I'm a very slow reader, so like some people might be like, oh, an hour, but it would have probably taken me like 2 hours to do that homework, and I was just very impressed with the results, you know. There's also not just that video, because you know the music might be a little bit weird for y'all. So the man posts, his name is Jason Lewis. He also posts a lot of other videos. Let me go to his account really quick. Let me show y'all. It's gonna be like reversed because of the camera. But see, it says peak focus. Wait, let me see if y'all can see that. I can't see. This is embarrassing. But headache relief, immune system booster, digestive system stimulation, anxiety and panic attack relief. So it's not just for this channel's not just for like people with who struggle with concentration, but also a lot of other benefits which are very impressive. Oh, and even I just saw this, an 8-hour sleep cycle tones. So you might even get a really good night's sleep after you finish your homework early tonight. Yeah. So now that I was able to establish methods that I could implement in order to become more productive, that sounded really monotone. I am really sorry. I do not sound like that in real life. But now that I was able to establish my productivity, I learned definitely a lot about vertical farming, but also a lot about kind of the effects of the revolution, since that's what I kind of want to, of the previous agricultural revolutions, and that's what I want to focus on this week, because I want to see the trends of how the past agricultural revolutions, there's been 3, and I'm mainly focused on the first and the third, which is the third is the Green Revolution that was fairly recent, and I wanted to see a lot of the social changes which occurred there, as well as the environmental. I needed to keep that in mind. But there's been a lot of talk that implementing vertical farming and AI, artificial intelligence, is going to be a part of what's called the 4th agricultural revolution. Though other people say, no, it's just a continuation of the 3rd revolution. I would like to say it's the 4th, because I don't know about y'all, but that sounds really cool, the 4th agricultural revolution, and I'd be saying that I'm researching the 4th agricultural revolution, which is about to come. So we're going to call it the 4th for right now. It's not established in any term, obviously, because it hasn't like really happened yet. The technology is just now being introduced, and we need some time for it to diffuse into the global markets and diplomacies. But so in the first agricultural revolution, it mainly happened in Western Europe, and what happened over there was that there was new technology such as like the horse-drawn plow, which plants seeds at the same time, and like the seed drill. It's like a plow seed drill combination, really crazy. But that made farming more efficient. But that meant that only the more like wealthy people could afford that, right? So then they could monopolize on that and get rich on that. But people who were like the more poor farmers didn't benefit at all from agricultural revolution, really. Actually, because of the enclosure acts, like the English enclosure acts, which basically gave away all of the the farming privileges for the underclass people, they had to abandon their jobs and move into urban farm areas. So that's basically what led to urbanization. And pretty much the same effect happened in the 3rd agricultural revolution, or the Green Revolution, is implementing green technology, like GMOs and new fertilizer mechanisms, only really benefited the upper class farmers, and it caused the poorer class farmers to have to go urbanize. And I think that's going to be the same trend that's going to happen with vertical farming, but the difference is now is that vertical farming is going to be in cities, so it's going to cause job growth in cities itself. But obviously there's still a lot of speculation about what could happen, or is it even like feasible. And I've been also reading a lot of articles and a lot of like academic journals and articles and stuff like that that talk about how feasible is implementing vertical farming, or is it just like some wild sci-fi dream. But I think there is a lot of potential for it to be, the future of farming. I think that is very far away from today, but we probably won't see it like massively used at least for a decade and a half maybe. But we'll see with time, and we'll see how coronavirus actually plays out and alters the scheme of things. Anyways, that is all that I have for this week. Thank y'all for listening. Stay productive, and if you do listen to those YouTube videos, you will be willing to succeed. Thank y'all.